What's going on, guys? My name is Rumble Skrash. In today's video we're going to be talking about the upcoming units that you're going to be seeing in the game and what units are actually going to be worth pulling for and maybe saving some gems for. So I'm going to be talking about this today. So I was waiting to do this video until we got the info about the steps and everything of the anniversary. So we're going to be getting like 3 new legends. So Luffy Sanji, Germa 66 and Street Commander. So I'm first going to be talking about Luffy Sanji, but first of all I want to quickly mention something about the steps. Like, yeah, the steps like look kind of great. Like, there's some steps that look like really good, like that 14 step and all, but it all depends on the fact if what units are actually available on this banner. So as you can see, both Roger and Odin are available there. So I would suggest if you're missing one of these two units, then I would suggest pulling for in this banner. So this is like a really good chance to get your hands on those. It depends obviously on the amount of units that are actually available on the banner, but yeah, I mean, it's a anniversary Sugo Fest, so really good Sugo. But yeah, if there's only like 10 legends, and here we already have 3, and probably these two, like B3 Law and B3 Akainu, are still gonna be there. So that leaves us, if there's only 10 legends, like with 5 legends, which are probably not really gonna be like that good or new. So this is one thing that I really hate about the new structure of Sugo Fest. So before, like, if you're something that you are not actually pulling on every single Sugo Fest of the debuting legend that comes out, then it's actually really hard to get your hands on the new legends if you're not pulling for them, because before you can actually wait until anniversary and then maybe get your hands on some of them potentially, and other Sugo Fest, but now it's not really possible. You can only maybe get them if you're lucky with some tickets. So for example, I do not have like Kit, I do not have Hawkins, I do not have Smoker. I got Sugar on a treasure map ticket, but yeah, I do not have Boa, I do not have Halloween Law, Halloween Shanks, Halloween Mihawk. So yeah, I mean, if you are something that's someone that's actually skipping some banners because you obviously cannot be pulling on every single banner, then that's actually a structure of Sugofest that I really dislike, because they are actually not featuring like the recent legends in the good banners. So yeah, and then you're just like find yourself pulling for the new units, but you don't even have the possibility of pulling for some a little bit older units that are actually quite good. Like for example, I really want the Boa and the Halloween Law. So, and also maybe Shanks, but yeah, in terms of Power Rumble, I'm talking about, of course. Now, so as I said, if you are missing one of these two units, like Roger or Olven, then I would definitely advise to pull here. But if you have both of these units and you have like a lot of other top tier legends, maybe I would suggest like not really go that hard on this Sugo Fest, because yeah, Luffy Sanji is a great unit in the normal game, like one of the best units definitely. But Roger and Odin are actually really good, and I think you can live without this unit, and if you have those units. And in Power Rumble, yes, it's a really good unit, like level attack 6 attack up and some speed. Rainbow and the special will actually deal a ton of damage to 2 enemies. The thing that I don't like about this unit is that he only targets actually 2 enemies, so that's not a finisher. And sometimes for the cooldown that he has, 32 seconds, I would expect him to be a little bit more of a finisher, to be able to kill more than 2 units. So yeah, I mean, the level C7 speed up Rainbow to all, the whole team is actually really good, and the attack up is okay. So I mean, it's a good unit, but I don't see like the usability that he's gonna be having, because he costs 55 because he's a legend. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a bad idea to pull on this banner for this unit or for Roger and Odin in terms of Power Rumble either. So it's also a good option to do, and something that you can definitely do. But yeah, maybe if you have like a lot of top tier legends, I would suggest not actually pulling on this banner, maybe doing a couple of multis to get some of the rare recruits. And I think like in the part of Sweet Commanders, you're gonna be able to get limited rare recruit Sparrow guaranteed in second multi. So that's a thing that you might be wanting to do. So yeah, I mean, you can do some pulls here, but I do not really suggest, if you have a lot of top tier legends and both Roger and Odin, to really go that deep in that part of the Sugo Fest. So but now we are going to be analyzing the Sweet Commanders and then the Germa 66. So here we are in the Germa 66, and as I said here, as you can see, the second multi, there's like this guaranteed per Sparrow, which I recommend that you guys get. So here let's see the abilities that the Suit Commanders have in Pyro Rumble. I mean, for what I know, I think it's not really that great of a unit, but well, it's basically based on strength type units. So yeah, I mean, it's level 6 attack and some HP up, which is okay, kind of good cooldown. And it, yeah, I mean, it's a damage dealer, and then he will target for special CT reduction. I mean, he's not that bad, I guess, but he's not really like, you should not really be going all out for to get this guy, because in the normal game he's not really that good. He's slasher, so maybe he could see some kind of uses, but well, I do not really think so. Let's see now the Germa 66. So here we are in the part of the Germa 66. So we're gonna be looking at what the unit does. I have been talking about this unit in some of my videos. The same for goes for Luffy Sanji, but well, it's a size center unit, and he is basically giving some defense level 2 to Sai, and then HP up level 5, and then a little bit of debuff to the defense of the int type. So it's not that bad, that part. And here the special, well, a lot of fixed damage actually, and some paralysis, which is okay. So I mean, he's a good unit for side teams. The thing is that like a week ago, like the info on in the JP version of Rebecca and Toy Soldier came out. So that unit basically for cost 20, it's doing like for the passive almost the exact same thing. I mean, not the debuff to int, but she's giving like attack up level 6 to Sai. So, and for only cost 20, and this unit cost 55. So yeah, that's a little bit of the problem with the Germa 66 unit. So yeah, I mean, it's a good unit. Like some a while ago I would have said like, yeah, this unit is actually kind of really good for side teams, but now with that unit, I mean, he can definitely still be used there, but you have a unit that does the same for only cost 20. So yeah, I mean, overall I think like during this anniversary, if you have like both Roger and Odin, that's important. If you are missing one of them, then pull on the Luffy Sanji part, probably. Get that spare Sparrow though, and then good luck to you in the anniversary. It's a good Sugo Fest, and I suggest that you pull on it. It's if you have gems, of course. So yeah, and mostly if you can get to those really good steps of a really big chance of getting a lot of reds. Now, if you have both Roger and Odin, and you have like, for example, other top tier legends like Shanks Crew, B2 Snakeman, units like that, um, maybe I would suggest like that, you know, go so deep in that Sugo, or even don't pull like, and then just save gems. And I'm gonna be talking now about where you should be looking forward to spending your gems, and which units you should be waiting for in terms of Power Rumble. So let's go see like the future units. I'm gonna be before I start, I'm gonna be like looking at upcoming legends and upcoming PvP limited rare goods. So basically upcoming pullable units, and there's some free-to-play units that are gonna be coming out that are actually good, but those are free to play. So I'm gonna be talking about like in terms of gem managing. So yeah, let's go see the future units. So here we are. I'm gonna be like switching regularly between the this database and the Per Rumble database. So here we have like here before these units, there's like the anniversary units that I have just talked about, and then after that there's the Halloween units. So Here, there's gonna be like this is not a pullable unit, but this actually per Rumble Usopp is actually really good. Will give a lot of speed to an attack to shooters and free spirits, and as we all know, free spirits are really good. And then the special deals a lot of damage, but that's actually a free to play unit. So yeah, I mean really good unit. So next up, here this is like not units related to PvP, and here there will start to come the Halloween units. But as you can see, there's these PvP limited rare recruits, Frankie and Leo. Um, Not really great units. Like the Leo, I think it says here it's basically a quick center unit, but there's gonna be better quick center PvP limited rare recruits in the future. So yeah, it's basically a kind of a debuffer, but like only massively to one unit, so not really that great of a unit. And then the Frankie, it's a Dex centered unit, which the passive is not bad. I mean, it's attack and speed to Dex, and especially it's kind of high cooldown, and it's also like a debuff. So yeah, not really, I would say, that desirable unit. So and then we have the Halloween units, which are rare on global, so I'm not gonna be talking about them in terms of gem managing. So let's see here. I don't really want to skip some units. So yeah, here you can see the PvP limited rare recruit ores that the Sukofest is actually active right now. I mean, I wanted to mention that, but I didn't really want to make a video only about that, so I'm gonna mention it here. Uh, I mean, for the first time, we finally got like a PvP limited rare recruit with max per rumble special and abilities when they are guaranteed. So I think that's actually really nice, and I hope they keep doing that with other units in the future. So I hope they do that, but Global got kind of shafted with PP Whitebeard and Calgar Nolan and stuff because they didn't come max and NJP they did. So yeah, but at least they started doing that now, I guess. So, but I don't really recommend pulling for this unit because he's basically only usable for the crit in team and with Halloween Mihawk, and that team is not that great now that there's like Roger Nolan and stuff. So yeah, I would say not really like a unit you must full, but if you want to build that team, then you probably need that unit. So yeah, and it's also really good that he comes max. So here in terms of ID, we have this law. I think he came like a little bit later, but maybe he came like with the release of Kaido Big Mom. I'm not really sure. But this law is a PvP limited rare recruit, and it's actually like a really great unit. So it's a slasher and will apply to strength. So this applies to Odin, level 5 HP and defense to strength, and then also a level 5 attack out to slashers, and the special on a kind of low cooldown, two times in a large range, and also radial. So it's harder for him to actually miss. And then like speed and attack to strength unit. So really good unit because like I think like out of the PvP limited rare recruits, like the here, let me put at the same spot as you can see here. These are the abilities. So for the PvP limited rare recruits, it's actually really nice that they are like nukes because if you're not using them in the main team, at least you can just put them in the bench, and you have like a lot of nukes in the bench. So that's gonna be obviously really good, and I'm kind of missing Kaku for that reason now. Like it's the only PvP limited rare recruit that I don't have, and I'm kind of missing him because like I have to use the Sanji, which only targets two units and stuff like that. So yeah, for those uses, I think like all these high damaging PvP limited rare recruits, even though maybe in a starting team you would not really use them. But I mean, this one you definitely would in a slasher team. Uh, at least in the bench, they are really good. And this law is obviously usable both in the bench and in the starting team because he's a slasher, free spirit. So yeah, you all know how good is that. So then we have like the first legend we're gonna be talking about, which is Kaido Big Mom. Yeah, the Big Mom are not really that great of a unit in Battle Rumble. So I talked about them here. That's Kaido, and Kaido will actually give, yeah, like own HP a lot. Rainbow defense up level 3, which is actually great if that's actually correct. Let's see if Kaido Big Mom are actually here. No, they are not in this database, or at least not ordered in ID. So yeah, I mean the defense up at the start it's okay, but for the rest, yeah, it's not really that great. He will give speed at the end, but it's not really uh, that relevant. And the special, yeah, I mean it's a really amazing health cut, but just to one unit. And well, and he debuffs himself, so yeah, I don't know. Kind of a recurrent thing in Kaido units debuffing themselves. I don't really know why. So I don't know. Here, that's Big Mom. It's an in-centered unit kind of, and not really that great. She will boost the special CT of in characters, which is okay. But then again, like at the end of the match, she will buff herself, and the special, as all Big Mom units mainly do, it's just like damaging and depending on the time that is left. So maybe if you manage to get her in the bench and then she activates at the late game, it's gonna be dealing a lot of damage. But well, I mean, I wouldn't really pull this unit for this unit in Power Rumble. But well, in the normal game, really good unit. And if you don't have like the top tier unit, then I suggest you maybe save a little bit of gems for these two go fast. But yeah, really great unit. Mainly the Kaido for the normal game. But in Power Rumble, yeah, not really that much. So till here we have like you could pull now in the anniversary. You can save for the Sugo Fest of PvP limited rare recruit law, I would say. And then I don't really suggest pulling on the Kaido and Big Mom banner. And after that, we have, let me see, yeah, I mean, we have some units, and then we have this Sova Mask. So this Sova Mask is actually a really interesting unit. So, well, here in JP, there was the release of Roger and Odin. I mean, I know that's the order by ID. It was not really in that order. So, I mean, I don't really know if these units are like not really ordered that well, or if not all the units are here. But I'm gonna at least be using the Rumble database for this. Yes. So a mask is not here. Let's see if the Sanji. No, you see, like PvP limited rare code Sanji is not here in this database, so this is actually quite unfortunate because I think the abilities of this unit are not here. Yeah, they are not, but for what I have heard, this unit is actually really good in the sense that I was saying, like really huge nuke at the bench. So for what I have understood, what this unit does is like two times attack in a large range, I think, or maybe a medium range. And then if you have 60 seconds or less, I think, then he will do that again, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't have the information of this unit. And I mean, I would have to search it kind of a lot. And yeah, I mean, I think this is like a unit worth pulling for because like normally in global we get like in 5 multis guaranteed PvP limited rare recruit, and with including like these 1 gem multis, 181 gems for a unit like this, it's not that bad if you care about PvP. So I suggest pulling for those units. So for the moment, like till kind of a considerable amount of months ago, we only have like two Sogo Fest to be looking forward to. So the PvP Limited Rare Recruit Law and the PvP Limited Rare Recruit Sogo Mask. Like the order of these units might be like switched, so don't pay attention to that. I think maybe the Sogo Mask will come first, I think, and then Law. But well, I suggest to actually save for both of these units, and it's not really that big of an investment. And also remember, if you're pulling on one of these units, apart from being able to get maybe some potential reds, you can actually get some PvP units that you are missing. So that's actually really good. And if they keep doing that thing, if you get the unit guaranteed, then it comes with max Fire Rumble abilities and passive. That's actually gonna be really good. So this will save you a lot of scrolls, and you don't even have to worry about saving scrolls for these units. So well, but I wouldn't really assume that they're gonna keep doing that from now on. So yeah, I mean, maybe save a little bit of scrolls. Then we have these two legends, the B2 Vivian Rebecca and Shirahoshi Manchuri. Not really that great. They're dual units, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot of apart from slashers, free spirits, and stuff. There's gonna be kind of a meta around color. I would say like quick, psi, dex, even strength maybe. So yeah, and the fact that dual units are not included in that, and they're like not a relevant unit for any particular like class-based team. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. So probably I wouldn't suggest pulling for those units if you really like care about Power Rumble and you don't care about the other units. So in the middle of that, we have this PP limited rare recruit Cavendish. The order might be a little bit switch. Yeah, I think by the time that in JP, Odin, and Roger came out, this Cavendish was already out. So yeah, this Cavendish is actually PP limited rare recruit. The thing is that he was mainly, if you can see the passive, you will see where this guy was kind of going, like level 7 crit down to all enemies. So this was kind of going to counter that really powerful team at its time, which was the int crit team. But right now that team is not really that relevant, and this unit, the first part is kind of irrelevant of the passive, and then we'll give, yeah, some defense to Dex, which is okay, and then some guard, which is also okay. But yeah, I mean, only will target only one unit, so very similar to the Stasi. But the fact that he targets the unit with lowest defense maybe will actually mean that he is easier that he targets like the bait units. So yeah, I don't really think that this unit is actually worth pulling for. And I mean, if you want it, you can pull for the unit. But maybe if you would just want to have all PP limited rare record, just wait until other better units, and then maybe you will get this guy in those other banners. So yeah, here in JP there was like the release of Roger and Odin, which we already have in global. Let's see. Here, yeah, nothing really new. Here there's the Sanji, but I think he was already out before Roger and Odin. And I would say, I mean, there's some 6+s, but there's not units that you actually can pull for. Well, you can, but probably if you have the unit. And then we get finally here. So we get to the Zoro beat, I don't know which version of the Zoro is, so Dex Zoro and B2 Kaido. So these two units, I think this is like the first Sugo Fest in terms of legends that I suggest pulling for. So both of these units are really good in Power Rumble, so we'll check we will check what they do here. Now, as you can see, let's first talk about the Zoro. So Zoro will actually, well, give a buff to himself of special CT, which is not that bad, and also attack up to himself, which is okay. But he will actually give a pretty good buff to Dex class. I mean, attack and speed, it's okay. But the thing is, look at the special. So he will actually deal one time the attack in a large forward range. Then if it's under the time it's under 50 seconds, two times attack additional apart from the first one time attack. And then if the time it's under 30 seconds, two times attack. So a lot of damage actually if the time is under 30 seconds. So if you're using Zoro, you want him definitely probably in the bench, and just you want him to enter at the end of the match and finish everything. So really good unit, and as you can see, the special city is 28, which is actually really nice. And in terms of defense and speed, 190 defense and 167 speed, it's not bad at all. So I think it's a pretty good unit, and I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you actually decided to pull for this unit. Also in the normal game, I think he's gonna be kind of good because also, yeah, quick and Dex needed a little bit of support. So yeah, but the main guy here is gonna be Kaido. So I think Video Kaido out of these two units is the one that you should in terms of Fire Rumble you should be looking forward to the most. So here, as you can see, for the first 40 seconds, he will apply level 10 speed and attack to himself. And then he's a quick centered unit. He will buff the HP and defense of quick on a 26 second cooldown. And the special is actually really amazing. So he will first, that's very important, first level 3 defense down to all enemies, guaranteed, sorry, in a large radial range, but I mean that's almost a guaranteed because large and radial is actually really good range. And for 5 seconds, so not really a lot of seconds, but you want the defense on for his own special. So yeah, similar in that sense to PP Wiper, giving a little bit of defense to a lot of enemies, and then first the defense down and then the attack. So, but he will actually be giving 2 times attack in damage to all enemies, also in that same really good range. So, kind of a really good unit, very similar to I would say PvP Whitebeard. The only thing is that uh, he will actually not give for so many seconds the defense down, but a lot of damage actually, and on a really good range. So he's not likely to be missing as much as the PvP Whitebeard. And also the fact that he's giving a lot of buffs to quick is gonna probably mean like there's gonna be a lot of quick teams seeing around there. So in terms of his stats, as you can see, 184 defense is kind of good, and then 172 speed is actually not that bad. So a really good unit, and I think in terms of quick teams, it's gonna be really interesting. I still hope that there's gonna be an option of combining some quick and Psy because I really like that combo. And if not, you can, if you have the space, you can put him in the bench and he will be dealing a lot of damage there. So yeah, I think both of these units are actually really nice. So I would suggest pulling in their Sugo Fest. I myself would be prioritizing Kaido over the Zoro, but maybe it's because I don't really like Dex teams in Power Rumble. But well, they in the future they are gonna see some potential, but yeah. So here we have so as till now we have like two banners that I suggest pulling for in terms of PP limited rare recruits, which are like the Wanolo and the Sova Mask one. And here I have one banner in terms of legends, which is the B2 Kaido banner. Here we have another PP limited rare recruit unit, which is the Lucy, and it's actually another unit that I would suggest considering to pull for. So if he's gonna give level 5 attack and HP to quick, so a quick centered unit on a 25 second cooldown, so kind of low cooldown, and apply well some defense. Well, this there's must be a kind of mistake here. Defense up to strength, that doesn't make really much sense. Let's see if here there's the info. Let's see. I hope that there is. Okay. I mean, mm, okay. Well, apparently he will give defense up to strength. I think there's a mistake here. He will probably give defense up to quick, but well, probably it says defense down. I would assume in not buff. So he will probably give defense down to strength for 5 seconds. So similar in a sense to that Kaido, giving defense down and then damage, but only to strength units. And then 2 times attack in a medium sideways range. So yeah, the range is not that good, but it's actually kind of a really high damage for a unit of cost 20. So another unit that I would suggest getting, and well, and if you want to build a quick thing, maybe it's good to consider him at least in the bench, maybe in the main team. So yeah, maybe a third a banner of PP limited recruit units that I would suggest pulling on. And then here finally we have the Power Rumble Legend NL. So the first Sugo Fest exclusive only to Power Rumble. So if you care about Power Rumble, I would suggest definitely pulling on that unit. So well, I mean,
I think that's the main unit to pull for because he's the legend exclusive to those kind of banners, and he's gonna be actually, I think, kind of really, really good, quote unquote, meta changing for the slashers. I mean, yeah, for the first 50 seconds, massively debuff the special city of slashers, so really, really good, and a lot of speed and defense, level 5 to Sai the whole match on only 17-second cooldown, a lot of damage guaranteed to all enemies, defense up to Sai and speed up to Sai for 17 seconds. Really well, kind of good defense stat, normal speed stat. So yeah. What else can I say? Really, really amazing unit, and the sightings are definitely gonna see a lot of play in the future. So I really suggest um, pulling for this. Well, got Enel, as the name says. And well, here we have like another PP limited rare recruit, Rebecca and Soldier. So another busted unit, definitely focused to side teams. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this unit in the passive does basically the same as the Germa double six, but with only cost 20, will give HP and defense to side the same numbers as Germa, and then instead of the little debuff to int, well, it's kind of a good debuff, but yeah, she will give actually level 6 attack up to Sai, which is okay in a side team, and then a lot of damage to 2 enemies. So yeah, it's a shame that it's only 2 enemies, but it's okay. And then a lot of defense down for a lot of seconds to slashers, which is actually really good because 20 seconds will at least guarantee one activation of Enel under this defense down level 8 for the slasher, so it's gonna be dealing a lot of damage and also a 22 cooldown. And just look at the stats, a good amount of defense, it's normal amount, and then like high speed, and just compare this to the Germa level 6 and that I mentioned before here, like the same passive, similar, a little bit debuff to int. Yeah, a lot of fixed damage to 3 enemies, but look at the stats, like lower stats in terms of defense and speed as the Rebecca unit. So yeah, so I would definitely suggest if you're pulling for Legend NL, I definitely suggest that you pull for this Rebecca and Toy Soldier. So yeah, now we actually got the info of a new unit. So well, I will search now for the info of the that unit, and I will be right back. So we have like the new info of the versus unit of Ace versus Akainu, and each of one of those two units can definitely mean a lot for certain teams. So that might be also a Sugofest that you would want to be pulling on. So yeah, I will be right back with that info.
So here I am in the Discord. Someone asked me actually in the comments. This is actually the Discord server of Asian guy or OPTC. Even though he quit, there's some activity there in the news. So I use that Discord server. So yeah, here this is the info of Ace in the versus unit. But remember, this is just one legend, and you can get both Ace and Akainu. So yeah, as you can see, the Parrot Festival ability will actually give attack up and defense to strength units, and for the first 40 seconds, some attack up to himself, and the special will actually give some attack up even more to himself. Will deal a lot of damage in a good range, and if his HP is below 60%, he will deal that damage again. So I think this has some potential to be somewhat useful. Maybe not in even in some like full on strength teams, maybe using some combo of him with some other strength units and then other units. So I think this has some potential of being really, really powerful, mainly also against slashers because they do not really have that much defense. But yeah, I think his classes is actually free spirit and shooter. So free spirits are actually really, really nice. So I think that's a really, really good addition to this kind of teams. So yeah, but and as you can see in the Power Festival Resistance, he will actually resist a lot of dex damage. So yeah, as you can see, really good unit in that sense. I mean, dex damage is not really that good, but the fact that these units, also I forgot to mention, the Kaido and the Zoro also have this kind of resistances where they reduce damage with the well, with the resistance. So it's actually really good, and he will just ignore action binds. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna be probably a really great unit. But the other version of the unit, so Akainu, is a quick center unit, and I think it has a little bit more potential. But well, the passive will actually give attack up, defense, and speed to quick. So really good passive. Will give attack up to himself, and then some, even some special city redaction to himself for the first seconds of the battle. And actually the special will deal a lot of damage in a good range, and more damage to a strength unit, so that's gonna be really good against Odins and stuff. And he will actually reduce the HP of enemies in a large range for 30%. So a lot of things with I mean, only if the special is activated in the first 40 seconds, but he has a 25 CT cooldown, so really low cooldown for what he does. So a lot of damage, even more damage to strength, and a health cut. So I think a really good unit that might actually see some play in the future in quick teams and stuff. Maybe he can be combined with uh, B2 Kaido or stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of potential in there, and also with BB Whitebeard, I think. So a really good unit, and in the main game, he's one of the best units in the game probably. So yeah, I mean, I would say like in terms of the Sugo Fest that I suggest pulling for, I would say I suggest actually pulling for maybe Luffy Sanji if you're missing a lot of good units that are gonna be in that banner. We are gonna have to wait a little bit to know which units are actually in the banner. So if you do not really see a point apart from the direct Luffy Sanji to pull in that banner, because you already have Old and Roger and stuff, and most of the other top tier units that are in the featured in the banner, then I do not really suggest going that deep in anniversary. So this way you can save a little bit of gems to be able to pull for like one Olo, for Soba Mask, and then for Rebecca and Toy Soldier. So these are like the three PP limited rare recruits that I suggest that you pull for. Maybe even the Lucy. I think it's not a bad idea. And so that in total, if you want to go guaranteed for those three units, I think this is actually like 500 gems. But it's not that bad. I mean, 500 gems to guarantee yourself three units in three different Sugos, of course. So it's not all at once. So I think that's gonna be definitely achievable. Also, mostly if you don't really go all out in this anniversary, you can save kind of a bit of gems, and then you have a lot of months to actually save those gems. And then I would suggest like going deep in the Annual Sugo Fest if you care about per Rumble, and probably in the Kaido part of the Sugo Fest. So, but at the end of the day, it's your decision. Maybe you would want to prefer to pull for the versus unit of Ace versus Akainu. And also, there's gonna be the JP anniversary, so maybe some crazy unit is gonna be dropping there. So that's gonna be actually really interesting to see which unit they drop, and probably it's gonna be really good in Power Rumble. So I would say like the main priority is definitely the NL, and then like the PV limited rare recruits. And if you can also pull for Akainu and maybe versus unit of Ace versus Akainu, sorry, if you can pull for Kaido, I meant, and also the versus unit of Ace versus Akainu, it's gonna be really good. So yeah, I mean, in terms of gem managing, it depends on the amount of gems that you have right now, and the amount of gems that you're willing to spend on anniversary. But I would say like we still have like 4 to 5 months, maybe 4 months till the annual comes out. So that's actually a lot of gems. normally if you play the game regularly, at least you will get 200 gems a month, probably even close to 300. It depends. 250, I would say it's a good number. So 4 months is actually 1,000 gems for that. Uh, Considering you are gonna be spending maybe 500, but let's say you only pull for two of these units, so um, 360 gems on PvP limited rare recruit banners. So that leaves you with a kind of a really good number to pull for the NL. And maybe if you can save some gems now for on the anniversary, or maybe even like there's gonna be some months that you're gonna be able to get some more gems than that. And well, and obviously if you're not free to play, then you can do whatever you want. And then I think that's a good number to be pulling for the annual, and then maybe saving for the possible unit in the JP anniversary. So I think that's a good way to look at it. I think getting your hands on as much good PvP limited rare goods as you can, it's a really good option because they can fit in any team in the bench and stuff. And also 8-man teams are gonna be probably kind of the meta, like, and for those teams you need a lot of PP limited rare recruits, and if you can have like high damaging nukes at the bench, that's gonna be a really really good addition for your team. So yeah, I hope this video was not too long, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what are the units that you are most excited for, and if you're gonna be actually going to pull on the anniversary of global or not. I would suggest like doing at least like getting some of the rare recruits, so at least two multis in the Luffy Sanji part, I would suggest, and then also getting that Perospero. I would suggest that. But apart from that, maybe some more pulls, but not really go too deep. But you can do whatever you want. It depends on the units that you're missing. If you're missing Roger and Olden, then definitely pull on the anniversary. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.